Hey guys, ECRG here, back with another episode. Today we're going to be talking about the differences between a screening visit and a baseline visit. And we're going to be primarily looking at this from the perspective of, someone who's working in the clinical research industry, not necessarily on the perspective as someone who is a patient. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick Google search here, see what we can find. I've got some definitions I do want to go over regarding it. What is going on there? I just pull up this Wake Research site, see what they're talking about over there. But basically, the screening visit it consists of a bunch of study-specific procedures that are used to determine if a subject is going to meet the criteria to join the study. So the screening visit is literally to screen them to see if they can join the study. That's why it's called a screening visit. So if you're asked this in an interview, what is a screening visit? You say the visit is used to determine if to screen the subject to determine if they can get into the clinical research study. Now, what the doctor is going to use is a set of criteria. These are called inclusion criteria and exclusion criteria. Inclusion is to see if they meet the criteria to join the study. Exclusion is to see if they have any things that can exclude them from entering in the study. Maybe if they've had breast cancer, or maybe if they've had any other type of cancer, they can't be in the study, whatever it may be. And there's a list of criteria. The PI will go through it with the patient and will determine their assessment, and then the CRA will review that assessment as well and review their charts to make sure that they meet the inclusion-exclusion criteria. And this is going to be done with every single patient that comes in. So that is what a screening visit is. But you may have heard a baseline visit. What is a baseline visit? And it is also called a randomization visit too. So that is the first day that a patient will be in the study. That's day one for the patient is the baseline visit. Day one. And the screening visit always has to happen before baseline, because the screening visit is going to determine, they're going to do informed consent there. The screening visit is really going to determine if they can even make it to baseline. So the definition of a baseline visit, and they've got it on this website too. The protocol baseline visit is going to consist of a bunch of procedures to establish that the subject psychological and disease parameters before the study drug administers. So it's literally a baseline. The object is to get a base level of health for the patient that you then compare against for the rest of the study. So, typical procedures are going to be things like a medical history, a disease history, a physical exam, any type of vital signs, weight, heart rate, blood pressure, that type of thing, and any baseline clinical lab tests. Maybe they'll do a urinalysis, whatever the study may be or what it calls for, they're going to do those tests there. Maybe an EKG, definitely a urinalysis, any type of those blood or lipid panels that are going to be used to assess the patient's health throughout the study. So that is pretty much the difference between a screening and a baseline visit. Screening is always going to happen first before the baseline visit. And that's pretty much it when it comes to that. From the patient's perspective, they're going to be guided through this whole process by the study coordinator and the site. Different protocols are different in length, so they may require more or less time at these visits than you may expect. But that's pretty much them in a nutshell. So hope you guys enjoyed that video or this episode if you're listening on the podcast, and hope you learned something. If you have any questions, email me eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com. Need any resume review help? We're here to help. Actually thinking about doing a discount. Maybe I've done it already by the time this video comes out. But thinking about that, want to get more people involved with it, want to help out more people. So we may do a discount here coming soon. And if you need any help, interview prep, there's that also. Take care, guys.